Well, here we are. Last video in the build series. What a great day. Finished the airplane a couple weeks ago and got the paperwork in, had the inspection today, and flew it. And it flew great. So without further ado, here it is. Okay, clear. Clear.
The run up for his first flight. This is a new, beautiful carbon cup. Pretty sweet. Clouds clapping in the background here. Yeah!
Nice landing.
How's that feel?
That is awesome. Yeah.
What'd you score him? What'd you score him on the landing, Em?
Oh, I'd score him at a 9.5.
Well, here we are. It's a few days later. I've been really busy with work, but I finally got to put a few hours on this airplane. It is really surreal to fly something that showed up in a bunch of little pieces and you put it together with your own two hands, and you're flying over your house looking down. So cool. Yeah, I finished the airplane back in July, but it takes a couple weeks at minimum to get the paperwork together and the inspection, and it's pretty easy, actually, relatively easy to fill out the forms. They just have to be real precise. I ended up having to change the data plate because I had the name transposed and the paperwork has to match perfectly. So, but got that done real easy. Luckily, the DAR that I worked with was really helpful and went over the paperwork before I submitted it, so we caught that before then. Anyway, looking really good up on its tires after seeing it on the ground for so long, and all done. I guess since the last video, we got the door installed, the windows installed, got all the weather stripping around in there. I'm not real sure how well that's going to hold up, but it's sealed real nicely for now. It's basically a foam rubber that goes in there, and it's working real well. First flight went fantastic. Second and third flight went fantastic. No squawks. It's doing awesome. First flight was 30 minutes. Kind of a quick flight, and you got to run it real hard to break the motor in, which we did. And then I came and landed and checked for leaks, and then went right back up again for another couple hours. These first flights really are not, it's flight testing, but I'm not really doing a whole lot of flying other than focusing on braking in the motor. And so about 2.5 hours, and then retorqued the prop. The prop manual has specs on time and retorquing because it is basically a wood prop, and retorqued that, and I'm glad I did. It needed it. Torque safety, threw it back together, flew it for another 2.5 hours, so I got 5 hours on it now. And I'll probably pull the cowling and change the oil filter and and check everything out again before we continue on the phase 1 flight testing. The phase 1 flight testing is going to make me requires, because it's an experimental airplane with an experimental engine, 40 hours of flight testing before I can leave a 50-mile radius from the airport and carry passengers. There's actually quite a few. There's like 15 or 16 items in the phase 1 flight testing that the FAA has you do, and the DAR was really helpful with walking me through all that stuff and making sure everything was clear on that. But yeah, it looks really good. We got the wing root fairings on. Got the flap cap seals installed. It's all ready to go. I really like this clean look without the graphics, which is kind of ironic because I spent a bunch of money getting graphics reprinted after I kind of had some paint scheme changes. And I might do something different with the tail numbers. I put those on for the legal requirement for the inspection, and I might actually make those cooler looking, but other than that, I actually really like this clean look. So I'll probably just keep that the way that it is. So anyway, it's all done, flies great, really excited about it. Can't wait to see what this thing can actually do. I haven't even been able to test the suspension because luckily this thing flies so great. It's so easy to fly, it's so responsive, and gives you a lot of good feedback that we've had just really nice landings, which is pretty cool because of course family and friends and everybody's out here to watch that, so quite a bit of pressure. You can see these windows are held up with these latches here, and you can fly with the window open, which is really cool. I'm not sure what else to show you other than it's pretty exciting to have this thing all put together. Really beautiful pieces. Billet door latch. Turn that way. Tells a new airplane to me. Same with the latch on here. Interior's all in. Screen's a touch screen, so inevitably you're gonna have fingerprints on it, but they don't show up when you have it on. Got the interior panels all in. Everything's looking good. Ended up printing out some parts of the flight manual for checklists. I like checklists. Perhaps not necessary in a plane so simple as this, but with all the stresses of flight testing and everything brand new, it's not a bad idea. In fact, it's a real good idea to use checklists. At least done lists, if not checklists. Got our airworthiness and our registration in here. Pretty dang cool. All right, we'll go fly some more, get this engine broke in, and then we'll do some fun stuff. There it is. Oh, I guess before I end this video, you probably want to know what the numbers are. 7 months from delivery to completion. Took another couple weeks for the inspection. 116 working days, log entry days, and 672 hours. So on average, if you put about 5 hours a day every other day, that's about what it was, somewhere in that ballpark. It weighs 1,022 pounds dry, which is pretty cool considering I've done a lot of things to not make it as light as possible. I added the long range fuel tanks, which is more weight. We have a heavier tail wheel and suspension than what would be stock. A 3x3 gear, which is just marginally heavier probably. But these tires are the heavy tread 31, so they're not just Alaska bush wheels. They're also the heavy tread, which if you know what these things cost, having extra tread was worth it for me to try, so I can try to make these last a little longer. I don't know what the weight difference is between these Gen 4 Pro Series shocks and the Bungees, but anyway, 1022 is pretty awesome. Add some oil and unusable fuel. We're pretty light. We have well over 800 pounds of useful load, so that'll work really good on amphib floats when I do that at some point. So yeah, everything's working good, everything's running good. Those are the numbers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully we'll have some cool adventure videos coming up after I get this thing broke in. Anyway, if you're contemplating doing it, what a journey, what a cool thing. All right, take care.